when you're creating graphics for the web, just make sure you're using pixels and not DPI, which is for the printing. So so when you click on file and then you click on new, okay, and this one will show up. It is important that you would choose web. So means to say you're doing a web graphics, okay, and the default usually is 1024 by 768, or depending upon your resolution. So I'll just keep it like this, and then you can also make more pages, and the default is 96. You don't need to change this one, and then you click on OK. So you notice in here in the properties bar, you can see the default is already in pixels, and your nudge is in pixels, and then the paper page size, or yeah, this one is in pixels too. Okay, so let me explain. So let's say I'm by the way, I'm also a webmaster of the School of Engineering, and I maintain this website here. So let's just say, for example, this banner here. So this banner, it's a rotating banner. So let's say I have announcements to make. Let's say for this one here. So the first thing you have to do, say for example you want to replace this one, what I'll do, I'm going to right mouse click here. This is the first thing you do, and then you can copy image. Okay, so when you copy image and go back to your Coreldraw, and then notice that the icon for paste is highlighted. So it means to say there is something in the clipboard. So you click on paste. Okay, so when I click on this one, and then you go to the property bar here, it says here that the image that I copied is 860 pixels wide by 220 pixels high. Okay, so now let's compare that with the one here, right? So this is the actual picture. So this is not the actual picture, but this is the rotating image, right? So if I click on right mouse click, and then I click on, it depends upon your browser. I'm using Firefox. So let's just say you go view image info. So when you click on view image info, you can see here that the dimensions is 860 pixels by 220 pixels. Okay, so it really, in our Coreldraw, it's the same, right? Okay, now let's say I'm going to create a new one, and then the Coreldraw default, let's just say I mistakenly click on Coreldraw default, and letter size, this is in inches and 300 dpi, and I click OK. Now I still have the image in the clipboard, so I click on paste here, and you notice when I click on paste, this is in inches already. So it says 11.944 inch by 3.056 in inches. Okay, that is why, because when I click on new, I stick with the default page, which is for printing. Okay, so I'm gonna close this now, and let's go back here. So again, most important thing is you have to choose the right starting page, which is in pixels. Now, okay, so that's let's just say I'm replacing this one here. Okay, and I already know the size of the image. Okay, so the what else can I say here? Anyway, what I usually do is when I click on this one, it's 860 by 220. What I do, I make the page size, which is the page border here, to be the same as this one here. Okay, so 860, so I'll put here 860, and click here, it's 220, so I'll change this to 220. Okay, so now you notice that this one is the same size as this, right? Now, shortcut key to put this one to the center of my page, I type in P as in Peter, and it goes to the center of the page. Okay, so now I can create my own graphics here. Okay, so now I'm just thinking here. I already talked about that. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to go back, click here, and then type in P for to make it. So now to make this one here, what I did here, because if you look at this, I'm gonna go back to my, okay, so you go here, and there was the purpose of making this one here to be white so that it would blend to the background. So you notice here it looks like it looks nicer that way, right? So now go back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a rectangle like that, and then I'm going to move it like that. Okay, and I'll make sure that it matches that. Okay, so that's good enough, and okay, that's good. So now I'll just make this. Okay, so now how do I get this one here? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this box up because I already traced that. Shortcut key, double click on rectangular tool, and it makes a border around your page, right? So now I'm going to go to my smart fill tool, and I'm going to fill that space. Okay, so I'm going to delete this now, and I'll make this white, and then I'm going to remove the outline. Okay, so let's say I'm going to fill this with gray here, just to show you that I already created that. Okay, okay, I'm just going to delete this one, so because I already have this, and right mouse click here. I'll just remove the fill, so I'll right mouse click. Now what I'm going to do here, the next topic that we're going to do is instead of doing the engineering one, I'll do it in my website. So I'm going to import some logos here. Let's just say my vector logo, and I'm going to import this. Okay, I'm going to import it here. Just going to change this to white, and I'll just make it I'm just gonna move this icon here. I'm just going to make that green like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to make that lighter like that. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put this one here. Ungroup this. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, so now when you click on view, it's in pixels, right? So it's in pixels, you're viewing it in pixels. Coreldraw did this so that you could see the pixel size in the actual, you can view the pixels in the real view. Okay, because what happens is if I zoom in here, and you notice, because this is a vector image, right? If I go to wireframe here, it's all vector image, but when I click on pixels and I zoom in, the question is, why is it pixelated, right? Not seeing it as a vector. That is because the view mode is in pixels, okay? But if I change it to enhanced and I'm going to zoom in, it's perfect, right? It's very sharp, okay? Because my logo was in vector, so that it's very sharp. The reason why Coreldraw did that in pixels here, so that you won't be misled that your image is sharp because it's a vector image, right? Because we are looking at it in pixels. Now if you want to see this in 100% size, let's say you want to know the size of this one in a website, you click on your zoom tool here and then make it 100%, okay, which is what we have right now. Now if I go to 100%, then you can see there's pixelation already, okay? So I mean, you can work with your graphics by, you know, more than 100%, let's say 200%. But if you want to view it in 100%, just change this one to 100% so that you know the actual size in the website, okay? Because take a look here. If I go back here, see this one, you can see it's the same size. It's 100% viewing size. Okay, so now sometimes what I do here, I still go to my enhanced view, which is all vector. That's fine. And then after that, when I'm ready to export it to a web image, I am going to put that back to my pixels. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to really, you know, explain about how to make this graphic. Maybe the next thing I'm going to explain is how to make an animated GIF or GIF or whatever they call it. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one. I don't need that one because I'm not going to put it in this page here. I'm just going to create my own animated GIF. So in order to make animated GIF, you click on your plus sign here. So what you're doing is you're creating 2 pages, okay? Or let's create another page so you got 3 pages. Okay, what I normally do, let's just say we're going to think about the animation here. Okay, so let's just say we have the same background for all. Okay, so think of the pages as frames. Okay, so page 1 is frame 1, page 2 is frame 2, and then page 3 is frame 3, and then it loops back to number 1. Okay, if we want to loop it to number 1. Okay, so this is my first frame, then the second frame is empty, right? So what I'll do, what I normally do is I just copy this one, Control C, and then go to your page 2, and then I'll just paste it. Okay, and go to page 3 and then paste it. Okay, so now these are all the same. Okay, so this is my entry one, which is my page 1, and then let's say in page 1 I don't have these this tips word and .com, so I'm going to delete that. And then let's say my second frame is just the tips, right? And then I'm just going to delete this one here, there, and then the last one would have it all. Okay, so now if you click on page 1, 2, 3, now you'll see, and it goes back to 1 again. Okay, so that will be my frames. Let's add another one here. It's another frame, so I'll go back to page 3 here, and then I'll copy this one, and I go to page 4 and then I paste it. Okay. So let's author this again. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and then page 4. What do you want to do? So maybe in page 4 we remove this and make it white, just like that. Or maybe I will alternate page 2 with white background. Okay, so we go back to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's it, right? So now we're ready to export it as an animated GIF. So that's the first one, and then I'll go File, Export for the web. Right? So let's say Export for the web, and okay, so you're gonna have this one here. Since it's a GIF animation, you just click on GIF or GIF, and if you click on this one to zoom out, so you can see the actual there. Okay, so we'll just click on Save As here. So we're happy with this one. We click on Save As, and then we'll make here. So what I do usually is make a new folder and put all the GIF animation there. So I'll put there GIF, and then I'll name it 1 because it's the first frame. Click on Save. Now I'm just gonna double check if it's in there. So here, so I got number 1. Okay, so now I'll go to page 2, and then make sure that you have a box around the border. So what I did, I made a white box. Okay, so you have to do that so that when you select this one, Coreldraw will think that this is part of the object. It's not only this one here. Okay, because in GIF animation the frame should have the same dimensions. So anyway, I select that and then click on File and then Export for the web, and then same thing, GIF, and I'll click on Save As here, and I'll put here number 2 and click on Save. Okay, now I'll do it in number 3. Same thing, go File, Export for the web, GIF animation, Save As, and then 3, and then Save. And the last one, number 4. Okay, make sure there's a box or a frame, and then Export for the web, and then click on Save As. So this will be my 4th frame. Click on Save. Okay, now we're ready to make that as a, call it a movie or a GIF animation, right? So now if you search in Google, just search their BMG GIF animator. Okay, it's a free animator, it's a free GIF animator software. So click on search here, and here you can click on this one here. This one's free. I've tested this one already. Well, when you're in this page here, make sure because the problem sometimes here, this is really misleading, because sometimes when you click on this one, which is we want the Benetton movie GIF, okay, that's the software. When you click on this one, you will be confused here. What do I want to, I don't know why they do this, but I guess they want you to be misled. But see here, you got start download, and then here you got download, and then here you got download button here, so recommended download, top download. Okay, so here we also have this download here. So just make sure that you know what you're clicking on. Okay, so this one, I click on this one, and then anyway, as long as you're careful, because sometimes when you click on this one, you're not actually downloading the Benetton movie GIF, but you're downloading the Reg Clean Pro. Okay, so you just have to be careful. But anyway, I already downloaded it and installed it, and this is how it looks like, the Benetton movie GIF. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on new project, or sorry, not new project, because I already have the frames or the pictures, 1 2 3 4 GIF, right? So I click on open here, and then I'm just going back here to my files, and then I made an object here. So what I'll do is I'm gonna do the first one and click on open. Okay, so it just says here the maximum is 270 by, we stretch the frames to the biggest possible dimensions. You can know here. What will we do here? Because that's the first time I seen. Okay, anyway, so okay, so what we're going to do is unfortunately that software has a limit in the dimension. I'm gonna do that again here. What does it say here? Okay, so we'll minimize, we'll make it smaller, because the one we have is 860 and this one is 720. So or maybe we just say, would you like PMGs to stretch the frame to the biggest possible dimension? So when we click on yes here, it goes 720, but it's really up to you. But normally the GIF animation is not that big, not as big as this one here. Just imagine 860 by 220 animated GIF. That's big, because normally when you go to let's just say go to, we can go back here, and then we can see let's just say this one here. You right mouse click and then click on view image info. See, the dimension is 728 by 90 pixels, right? So the normal banner size for GIF animation, like for example this one, is 728. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our Coreldraw here file, and since this is a live recording, I can't really edit my recording. Anyway, what we'll do, we'll just shrink this down to we'll just make that 720, right? And obviously if it's 720 here, we can make it the same one. So I'm just going to move this here, and there you go. Okay, so I'm going to make this 720, enter and type in P to make it inside. Unfortunately, I have to do this again. Okay, anyway, it's a live recording, so I'll go back here. Okay, what I'll do here, I'm going to delete these pages first, delete page 2, and click this one, go back here, and I'm gonna paste. Okay, I'll just make this smaller. I'll make this 180. Okay, and I'll make this 180. Okay, and then we go 100%, and this is what we're gonna see. That's 100% of the GIF animation, which is actually big too. Okay, so what do? We select everything and then Control C, we copy it, and then we make 4 frames, right, or pages here. So I'm gonna paste this, go to 3, and then paste this, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so number 1, we decided we're going to delete that, and then page 2, we delete this one here, and then page 3, we made it complete. And then page 4, we'll delete the background. Okay, and also in page 2, we'll also delete the, no, sorry, not delete, we'll make it white. Okay, this one, we'll make sure that this is white. Remove the outline. Okay, so now if we go page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we'll go back to page 1 here, file, export for the web, and I'm just going to replace this one here as number 1. Yes, and I go number 2. Let's do this quickly because we already know this. I go export for the web and save as 2. Yes, and then 3. File, export for the web, save as, so that will be 3, and then the last one will be 4. So I go file, export for the web, save as, and 4, and I click on save here, click on yes. Okay, now let's go back to our GIF animation software. So first I'm going to open number 1, and it's there. Okay, so now we already did frame number 1, and then what we'll do, we're going to create another frame, right? So I don't really use this a lot, but we're just going to think here. Okay, so now we're going to, I think we're going to open again and click on 2 and click on open. If you don't want to lose, you must save. Okay, so we're not going to do that one. Okay, how would this be here? Okay, so oh, here, so add frames from file. Okay, so since we have the same dimensions, okay, so now you got 1, you got 2, and then we go add frames from file, and the last one would be this one. Click on open. Okay, so now you have those 4 frames already. Okay, and then of course you have this animated effects, but we don't want that yet because we only want goes like this, right? Now actually we see this one, the frame 1, you've got a clock here, which means to say there's no delay, so the next frame would be 0 seconds. Now let's see if I can change this one here. Okay, so click on this one and right mouse click and click on change delay. So instead of 0, let's just say, I know this is seconds, so let's say 1 second. Let's make that 2 seconds and click OK. And then right mouse click here, change delay, say 2 seconds, click OK. And this one, let's just make it 2 seconds for now. So 2 seconds and click OK. We shouldn't forget that this one has to be 2 seconds too. Click OK. Okay, now let us play this. Okay, so here's the play button. We just click on play. Wow, that's really fast. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can use it here too. So you see, it says here centiseconds. I'm not sure what's the conversion of centiseconds, but centiseconds would be, let's try 200 centiseconds. Okay, so we'll make it 20. I'm not sure what's the conversion of this one. Let's try that. Okay, so now we're going to make this 20, same thing, 20 here, 20, and then here 20 centiseconds. Let's click on play. Okay, so it looks like it's still fast, so what we'll do, we'll make this 40 here, 40, and this one is 40, and this one would be 40. Okay, now let's play it. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm gonna stop this one, and then you also have an option to loop. You can also make it animate it without a loop, but what I'm going to do, I'm just putting it with a loop here. And then I think we're ready to export the animation. Okay, so we go save animation as GIF. So I click on save here. Now in here you also have an option here. It says transparency mode. We don't want the transparency mode, and it says here loop for animation forever, so it's going to loop. Or if you uncheck this one, you can have it loop for, let's say, 10 times. Okay, but I'm just gonna click on here GIF comment. I don't know what that is, but let's just leave that there, and then click OK, and then we'll save here. I'll put here animation, so that will be the whole animation. These are just frames, and click on save here. There. Okay, now I'm going to go to my Explorer here. Okay, I am going to here, and I'm going to go to the folder here, and this is the animation here. So I'll right mouse click, and I'm going to open it with it's nice to open it in a browser with a browser. So I'm going to open it with, let's just say, Internet Explorer, and there I'm in Internet Explorer, and that is the animation. Okay, so that's how you make animation from Coreldraw and using the Benetton movie GIF animation. Okay, so I'm just gonna close that and close this one, close this. So what other things you have to know in web, for the web? So click on new, and this one should always be web, and click OK here. So I'm ready for the web here. Okay, so PNG is there are some questions here, like what best format for the web, right? So we have, how many we have? Just gonna type it here. We get GIF, and we get JPEG. We have, so GIF, JPEG, we have PNG. Okay, so far this is the one that I know for the web. Okay, so you can put Flash here, but that's not really an image, it's more like an animation. So what is the best one? So GIF is for GIF animation, which is what we did, and JPEG is, I would say, when you're doing going back here to my website here that I maintain. So for example here, I'm just gonna wait for the next, say for example here, the best thing here is a JPEG, because you're dealing with pictures, right? People, you get gradation, you get details on you go JPEG. But if you have like graphics, let's just wait for the next one here. Let's wait. Okay, for example, this one here, PNG is okay for this one, for PNG. Okay, so in PNG you can actually make make a background transparent. That's why when you go to a website, let's say go to a website, I'm going to go to Google. I'm just going to get a PNG image, right? I hit enter. This is another explanation of images from PNG. Let's say this one is a transparent PNG. Okay, let's just say this one. I click on that one and it would show here in Google. I know in Google image, I know that this is transparent and it's a PNG, right? I mouse over here and it shows here in the lower left corner, it says here the PNG file is basketball.png, but since it's checkered, it means to say it's transparent. Okay, but you look at this one here, this is the same, these two are the same, but if you look at this one, it looks like it's not transparent, it looks like it has a white background. But notice this one, we normally do right mouse click and we copy, right? We copy the image. So when you're copying a PNG which has like a transparent background, and you go to your Coreldraw and then you paste it, watch this one. Okay, now why does that happen? Okay, it becomes black around, but going back to my image here, that's not black. It's because it's a PNG, it's a transparent PNG. Okay, so when you want to insert an image from a website image, you have to save it. So right now I'm not gonna copy, I'm gonna save the image as, and I'm gonna save it here, basketball. Let's click on save, and then you'll notice in here, okay, this is the copied and paste basketball. I'm going to import the PNG, which is this one here, and click import, and you notice that the image didn't have, the basketball didn't have the black box. Okay, but this is still transparent. To prove it to you that it's transparent, I'm just gonna make a, let's say, a red box there, and then I'll put these two back. Okay, see, it's transparent. This one is not transparent because we just copy and paste. Okay, but that doesn't you won't have a problem with GIF and PNG and JPEG. Okay, so the JPEGs are fine. So let's say, let's type in here JPEG, but you know what I mean, like you want, if you copy a JPEG and paste, you won't have that problem with the black box. Okay, so I explained with that already, and what else here? I got the JPEG, and yeah, okay, so now what I really do, let's say I'm just going to open the, let's say I have this artwork that I did, and then let's say a situation is you want to give the client a proof of your design, right? It's a good idea to give them just a screen capture of your design. Okay, so number one is never give them a PDF version of your design unless they ask for a PDF, but it's really a case-to-case basis. Okay, while we're waiting for the file to open, let's say for example you're designing a pop-up display which is 8 feet by 10 feet, right? Don't make a PDF of the actual size of, let's say 8 by 10 feet, okay? Because you also want to protect your design. You don't want them to, you know, get the PDF, save the PDF, and then bring it over to another printer, and then you're done, and then you won't get paid, right? So just give them a screen capture. I'm going to close this one here. Let's say, for example, this one here. I'm just gonna delete this. I designed this one and it's for a pop-up display. And what I normally do for the proof, I don't give them PDF. So what I'll do, I'm just going to get a screen capture here. If you don't have a screen capture software, I do have a screen capture software. It's this one here. It's Snagit, which is really great. But if you don't have, here's what you do. You click on F9. So just type it here. F9. Okay. F9 key. I'm just gonna delete that. Because what happens if you go click on F9, all of this interface would disappear. All these tools and everything. It would only show this one here, whatever is on your screen. Okay. But before doing the F9, I want you to make it maximize it to the whole height or width of the graphics area, and then click on F. Okay. If you click on F9, this one will disappear. For me, it didn't because I'm in a screen capture mode. So anyway, when you click on F9, this one will disappear, and then click on print screen in your keyboard. So click on print screen. Okay, this is my screen capture software, but if you do the print screen like that, and then you click on file and then click on new, and then make sure you're in web, and then click OK, and then paste it. Oh, sorry, I should have copied this first. Anyway, and then paste. It's gonna be like this. Okay. And then you can make it smaller like that, and then email this one. So you go select this. Okay, if you notice that this is low resolution, they can't really print this one. So you go file, export for web, and then you just export this file. It's going to be a small file, but the purpose is just to show them the how it looks like. Okay, and the best thing for this one is not GIF, it's PNG, or you can go JPEG. Okay. So notice if I click on JPEG and compare it to PNG, it's almost the same. Okay, but if you have more pictures here on your design, you go JPEG and then put high quality. Okay, and then you click on save as, and then it's just, I'm gonna save it here, and then email that to your client. Okay, so yeah, that's one way to show the client. So I guess we have to, I'm just going to end this live streaming, and I'll see you in the next live streaming, and thank you very much for attending the live streaming, and that's it. Okay, so welcome to the live streaming of my I don't want to say tutorials, but it's going to be a live recording with no edits, and yeah, so anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about using Coreldraw as a graphics creator for the website. So we're going to use Coreldraw for web images and web graphics, and then maybe later on, if we have time, we're going to talk about the creating a GIF animation. So anyway, so when you are creating graphics for the web, just make sure you are using Pixel